Hello everyone and welcome back to Chronos Plays Phoenix Wright Spirit of Justice. Today, I believe, we need to present this.
Objection!
And there's no music, so we're right. That's kind of weird how that's the recurring trend for the most part. There's sometimes we present something and there's music still going. But like, almost all the other times, anytime we present something, it's just like, oh, music stopped. You say that Amy Faye had the crystal made for your ancestor. And so I'm assuming it was made in Japan. That's right, the craftsmanship is unbeatable. Well, that's strange. I don't see how your so-called crystal could have been made there. What are you talking about? It's quite obvious if you take a closer look at this. This thing. Right there.
Take that!
There's literal blood on it. I didn't see that before. Okay. Take a look at this distinctive design here. Also, the blood on it. That's weird. So I'm assuming he didn't fall then, right? According to Dr. Buff, it's a Mitama motif dating back to the early days of the Kingdom of Khura'in. The Kingdom of Khura'in, And you base this on fact, Your Honor. This piece of evidence, Your Honor. And these are the doctor's research notes on the Founder's Orb. And this is the box in which the orb was originally stored. And features the same pattern as the one found on the orb. They do look like the same pattern. Therefore, I assert that the disputed item must have been made in the Kingdom of Khura'in. Ah! Oh, you broke your placard! My placard!
Objection!
The Khura'in channeling technique originated in the Kingdom of Khura'in, and Amy Faye is known to have traveled there to train. With that in mind, what's to say she didn't bring the pattern back with her?
Objection!
But since this is clearly a Khura'inese design, not even you can deny the possibility that this was made there, in the Kingdom of Khura'in.
Objection!
Anything's possible to some extent. That just doesn't make it true. So you can't conclude that this orb is from Khura'in based solely on that pattern. If it were that simple, I could just easily say it's Japanese. I really wish it would just be like Californianese. That'd be fucking hilarious. I have to agree with Mr. Wright. Of course you do, because he's on the opposing side this time. The pattern alone proves nothing. But that also means that there's no basis to claim the item in dispute was made in Japan either. At this rate, we're going nowhere fast. He's right. We're just spinning on wheels here. I wonder if we have any evidence that could break the stalemate. Evidence that could break the stalemate. I'm assuming they exist. Do we want to talk about this blood stain, though? Okay. Could be just, like, rusted copper? No. I don't even know if that's a thing. That's blood. You want to see a picture of my dad, Court? No? Okay. I don't know. I have no fucking idea. I feel like I should say it does, but I could be lying. Oh, there's bloodstain on it there too, actually. Never mind. Maybe it isn't bloodstain. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna say, Chronos, it's not gonna hurt you to get it wrong. I know. It's not gonna hurt me in game, but emotionally, it will fucking wreck me for days. It exists. The defense would like to present a piece of evidence to the court. A piece that will finally break this stalemate. Oh? Oh, you sure piqued my interest. Let's see what you got. I have no fucking idea. I will now prove that this is, in fact, the Founder's Orb. Is it the resource notes again because of the riddle? Maybe. Music didn't stop. And just how does this piece of evidence prove that it's a relic of the Founder's Orb? I don't know. It doesn't, does it? Not by any means I can fathom. Sorry, Apollo, but I have to agree with the boss on this one. Of course you do. He pays you. Yeah, me too, actually. Yeah, of course I do. He pays me. Me 3 defense. Well, that's just rude. He doesn't pay you. Yikes. Now, time to think that one over again, Mr. Justice. Yes, Your Honor. Huh. Evidence that could break the stalemate. Saves coming, son of a bitch. Should I just say it doesn't exist? Because honestly, I don't think I have anything that... Unless I'm just being stupid. It doesn't exist. There doesn't seem to be anything we can use, at least not at this point. Okay, that's the right one. Well, unless he finds nothing, the trial won't be going anywhere. I have a new placard? And tape? Scotch tape? You use Scotch tape? Dog, Scotch tape really fucking holds wind together, let alone a placard. What's his deal? I have a suggestion. Why don't we consider this from a different angle? I'm listening. What if the Defiant Dragons really were authorized to take possession of the relic? I'm afraid I don't know where you're going with this, Mr. Wright. Consider the Orb Transfer Agreement, which states, I agree to hand over the Founder's Orb to the Defiant Dragons if I will come to no harm. And he's dead, so he did come to harm. What if, as the last part suggests, this was written under duress? I don't know. I mean, it was clearly obvious that this agreement would not hold up in court, I would believe. You can't really sign a contract like, if I don't come to harm. I mean, okay, I guess you can write a will like that, right? Maybe you can. This would render the agreement null and void. What are you suggesting, Mr. Wright? While you were in your little cave expedition, we were trapped because of your client. I was investigating Dr. Buff's accident. And there was something you overlooked, Mr. Justice. I didn't fucking look at the body. We didn't investigate the body because we weren't actually investigating shit. Namely, that his accident must have been actually a murder. Or been a murder. What? Murder? So, the only person I would assume would have done it is clearly Phoenix Wright. You're going away, buddy! Mr. Wright, do you realize such statements are not to be made lightly, except in this courtroom where we make them non-stop? Are you suggesting the doctor was murdered by the Defiant Dragons? Yes, but follow me on this one for a sec. The books that came tumbling down were from the archaeology south. However, among the mountain of books was a simple volume of psychology. What's more, there was blood on the book. And the books that came tumbling down were from the top shelf, the archaeology books. You just say that. We know this because the doctor's books were meticulously organized by subject. I'm glad I don't have that problem. I'm not saying he had OCD, but my god. I mean, to be fair, I do have to get up like non-stop to make sure the doors are locked and light switches are down. That's not really OCD. Okay, maybe it could be considered OCD, but it's not. I don't have OCD. I'm not diagnosed. At the same time, if I had to like lock the door 25 times exactly before I left the house, and if something interrupted me, I'd have to start over, that would drive me fucking bonkers. Probably because it would drive anyone bonkers, even people with OCD. They hate it, obviously, but still, God Lord, that would suck. I feel for people that have OCD like that. That is just horrible. So I think there are ways to reduce it. I'm not talking about medicine, but like types of physical therapy. I don't know if that's true or not. Look into it if you have it though, just in case. Don't buy snake oil shit though. Archaeology took up the entire shelf so that the psychology book is completely out of place. Come to think of it, shelves were arranged quite carefully. Also worth noting that psychology books only take up a tiny part of the bottom shelf. You might wonder why a book on psychology was found amid the pile of archaeology books. But I believe I can explain that with a single out-of-place book, that single out-of-place book was doing there. The doctor was struck from behind while selecting a psychology book from the shelf. And that's when the blood got on the book. Precisely. And to make it look like an accident, he was buried under a mountain of archaeology books.
Objection!
Wait a second. This is all just speculation, right? Or do you have proof that it was murder? Of course I do. Okay, why didn't you have fucking Emma bring this up, or why didn't you go to the police with this yesterday to make this more of a thing? On a hunch, I had Detective Sky examine the books, the doctor's... Jesus. Detective Sky examined the doctor's head wound. She found that it's been struck by the corner of some object or another. Wait, what? Why is this just coming up now? It's a civil case, Chronos. I know, but still. A wound like that couldn't have resulted in the fall from the floor, you know? What if he fell directly on the corner? What is that called? Is it the Goldberg trap? No. That's a wrestler. No, Chronos, I think it might actually be called that. One second. Goldberg trap? Oh, trap workout. Rude Goldberg machine. Ah, it was! Holy shit! It's a chain reaction type machine. Yeah. Okay. See, I'm not stupid. There are a lot of pictures of Bill Goldberg, though. Specifically his traps. Do you understand what this means, Mr. Justice? The woman makes it crystal clear that Dr. Buff was murdered. What? Well, that was unexpected. Honestly, I thought murder was gonna come into it at some point. I wasn't sure if it was gonna be like right now or later, though. Like, I figured this was gonna go on and then we were gonna have like another investigation where it's like, hey, actually, murder. Who would have thought we'd break out the stalemate like this? He pulled the ladder right out from under us. Was it a step ladder? Still, if he thinks that's enough to make me back down, he's got another thing coming. Even if the cause of death was murder, what makes you think it was the Defiant Dragons? You should know better than to hurl baseless accusations.
Objection!
Did you forget who you were up against, Mr. Justice? You didn't actually think I'd come to court without witnesses or evidence, did you? What are you talking about? I would like to request further testimony from the plaintiff. Specifically, I would like the court to hear how he saw one of the rebels leaving the crime scene. He saw what? Dumbass says what? If you didn't prove it was murder, that's the end of that client's rights to the orb. Did he have this up his sleeve this whole time? How could Mr. Wright do this to us? He was just waiting to spring that trap. This trial has taken an unexpected turn. But I must mention, Mr. Wright, that you have yet to identify the murder weapon. The object used to commit the murder was not located at the scene of the crime. The murderer likely disposed of it elsewhere. Did you not just say it was a book? I'm sorry. Some object or another. Okay, I thought you were claiming that it was the book. But alright, it'd be a hefty book. Well, I never thought we'd be deliberating the issue of murder at a civil case. Civil trial. Yeah, because it wouldn't happen. Like, at all. Alright, Mr. Stitians Wimperson, your testimony, if you please. I walked away for some reason. My placard has tape on it now. Prepare to be dazzled. Dazzled by the charismatic or nations forged in the crucible of campaign battle. He actually has like a charisma stat of 1. The rebel's crime. That evening I was walking alone, lost in thought. Not because I don't have anyone that loves me. What makes you think that? I passed by the doctor's house, and that's when I saw Mr. Rebel. I was running out the door. It was around 10 at night. Surely that must have been him fleeing the scene of the crime. A vote for me is a vote to end such violence. That is my promise to you. I mean, that'd be cool if that ever actually happened, right? A politician actually could do something like that. It's never gonna, but still. So the plaintiff saw a possible suspect fleeing from the doctor's residence, and it was within the window of the estimated time of death. That's a rebel? What in the world were you doing there? Seems Mr. Rebel was loitering about the Crane village that day. There's evidence he was in the doctor's study as well. Isn't that right, Mr. Justice? Ah, you mean the suitcase? Exactly. He must have been in quite a rush to leave that behind. I mean, he's not an idiot, though, right? Oh, and by the way, Your Honor, Mr. Rebel just so happens to be sitting in this gallery today. Ah! See? That's him trying to escape as we speak. Bailiff, don't let that man get away. Right, you backstabbing motherfucker! Why are you doing this to me? I thought we were friends! I tried to share lizards with you! Alright, the counsel/defense may question the plaintiff/witness once more. Please proceed, Mr. Justice. God, I just want to go up to that stand and shatter that placard. That's bullying, Chronos. That's fucking hilarious. That's what that is. Hold it! Why were you taking a walk? Society is inundated with serious problems that must be solved, and as a politician, I am always on the job, thinking hard about possible solutions, even on my walk. Thanks for the non-answer. While we live in our comfy lives, there are those starving children who suffer in the back alleys of major cities. It is not in me to ignore such suffering. A vote for me is a vote to move those children off the streets and into a corner where they won't be seen. End world peace. Yeah, Mr. Estician Wimperson, we are well aware of your outstanding character. Now please continue with your fucking testimony. I can practically hear my poll numbers surging. This is still at 1. Now, on with my speech. Maybe 3 because of those 2 people that carry his little cart. After all, the voting public mustn't be informed of the magnificence that is me. Hold it! Where exactly were you when you saw Mr. Rebel? I was here, right in this tree, spying on the doctor, clearly. I saw him dashing out of Dr. Boss' front door. And he didn't notice you? No, I was hidden by the tree. Is that really important? Yeah, I guess. Probably. I'm gonna press everything anyways, but still. Okay, press again. What were you doing under the tree, you weirdo? A lack of lateral thinking. That is the politician's downfall. What? This is why, if I'm elected, I promise to think outside the box. What? The question was, what were you doing under the tree? Suppose I can't expect a plebeian such as yourself to understand my grand design. What were you doing under the tree? Mr. Decision Wimperson, I believe the court is well aware of your grand political vision. Now, let's have the rest of your testimony. I can hardly wait for the upcoming election. No, go back. What were you doing under the tree? Did you notice anything unusual? Yes, his behavior was incredibly suspicious. I mean, that I can believe. His eyes were darting all around as he ran off in total panic. I think total panic is his default emotion. As soon as I saw that, I knew he had done something and it probably wasn't good. Despite that, you still didn't report it to the police? Who would have thought he had killed Dr. Buff, not me? That's why I didn't report him. That doesn't make any sense. Is that an important statement? Yeah, probably. Yes, it is. Are you gonna replace the last statement? Just adding on? Okay.
Hold it!
You had no idea that he was dead. In other words, you knew nothing about what had happened. I'm truly ashamed of myself. Yeah, that's, you know, that's right. That's a right statement you should have. What? There's been a gruesome murder in my beloved village. What a fool I've been. I was thinking only of the village's future and world peace. It seems my earnest attitude and industrious nature has come back to haunt me. Only politicians would try to pass off aggrandizement as self-deprecation, yeah. You think this is how all politicians will be from now on? Oh my fucking god. We're all doomed if they are. Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to continue with my testimony. Why? You did say 10 at night. Was that when he died? Yes. Alright.
Hold it!
But at that time, you didn't know the doctor was dead. Is that correct? It's true that I've been known as a prodigy from a very young age. Huh? I graduated high school and college with exceptional grades. As class president, I reformed the stale old school traditions. My exploits were even covered in local papers. But as exceptional as I am, I can't possibly be expected to know everything at all times. This isn't working. He keeps bending the questions to serve his own needs. Hang in there, Apollo. We'll jump him after court. Mr. Astitian Wimperson, I believe the court is well aware of your exceptional nature. Now, would you please continue with your testimony? Ha ha ha! I have the upcoming election in the bag. Last one, baby. Why'd you say it like that, Chronos? I don't know. So, how do you actually intend to end such violence? Elite politicians such as myself never reveal their strategies. Did you really think I would divulge such sensitive information to the likes of you? Yeah, but surely you have some sort of campaign platform you're running on. Like, what's a campaign platform? No comment. Clearly, is a platform told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. He said he saw Datz run from under the tree. If that's true, then... Did you figure something out? Yeah, I think he's hiding something. Let's take another look at the evidence, Athena. Okay. Oh, under the tree. Under the tree. Down where it's wetter? No. Down where it's leafier? Sure. You would have seen the dead body.
Objection!
Please take a look at this piece of evidence. I'm looking, but what am I supposed to see? What do you fucking mean? Phoenix, you can't say that. Do you know how many times I've had you present evidence and it had total nothing to do with the case? That had something to do with the case. There's a fucking window. He would have seen the dead body. Give me that fucking badge back. I didn't save. God damn it. Oh, maybe here? Let's save. No, not there, here. Present. Okay. I was just in the wrong spot again. Mr. Astitian Wimperson, rather than Mr. Rebel, wasn't there something else that should have had your undivided attention? Like what? Oh, yes, of course. A politician must always also keep his finger on the electric's pulse. No, you idiot. Sorry, but you're way off. I am? Would you care to explain, Mr. Justice? If the witness saw Mr. Rebel from his position here, then he should have also been able to see the doctor's body. After all, it's right next to the huge window. Why, I do believe you have a point there. With the body that clearly, visible to the witness, it's unthinkable that he wouldn't have reported to the police. Ah! Will the witness care to respond? He's asleep. Why are snot bubbles a thing for sleeping? Like, is that something people do? Like, snot bubbles when you're, like, sick and congested? Sure. Like, trying to blow your nose? Fine. They're not like that, of course. But when did snot bubbles become... Like, it's been a long, long time, because, shit, NES games and the Super Nintendo games had snot bubbles for sleeping. Very prominent in, like, Super Mario RPG. But at the same time, it's in other places as well. Like, right here. It's not really something people do, right? I don't do that. Drool? Sure. Snore? Absolutely. Suffocate myself with a pillow sometimes? Of course. Venus fucking sleeping on my head? Absolutely. Snot bubbles? Not so much. Did he fall asleep? Mr. Station Wimperson. Someone stab him and wake him up. Mr. Station Wimperson! Ah! Oh, That many sides to an issue? What did I ever do to deserve this? I don't know. I ask myself that every day, Hollow. In any case, I'd like the court to acknowledge the inconsistencies of the witness's testimony. Mr. Station Wimperson, did you really see Mr. Rebel? Ah, yes! Goodbye. Where do you think you're going? Oh, I thought I'd return to my seat, seeing as I had already answered the question. This isn't some small town hall of bait, so you just stay right there until I say otherwise. I'll have to run that by my campaign manager before I... Objection! I will DDT you on this fucking cement. Gulp! Mr. Station Wimperson, I think it's time for you to come clean. Huh? So then, does this mean he didn't see Mr. Rebel? As your lawyer, Mr. Station Wimperson, I advise you to divulge that matter we discussed. Silence is no longer an option. Are you sure about that? I'm in the midst of running for office. I can't afford to let any strange rumors get out. Don't worry, you won't suffer any blowback from what you're about to reveal, except all the blowback. Blowback? I'm not sure I like the sound of that, Mr. Wright. Not to worry, Your Honor. Nothing like those gas stations you've been to. Why am I laughing at that stupid joke I just made? Now then, Mr. Justice. Remember how it was an anonymous caller that reported the doctor's death? Come to think of it, no, I don't. Hi, Emma, are you about to tell me that I forgot that? Yeah. Alright. I mean, yeah, I'd rather not get involved with a murder case myself. But again, if I don't know it was murder, still. Wait, you're saying that... Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. The anonymous source who contacted the police after discovering the body was... my client, Mr. Paul Station Wimperson. What? You don't say. So you see, he played his part as a concerned citizen quite admirably, if I might say so. Isn't that right? Yes, indeed. In our society today, there are too many who choose indifference over righteous actions. And I don't number among them. That's why I did my duty as a concerned citizen. One might call me the mortal citizen, one worthy of standing above the rest. What a real standard bearer he is, reporting it anonymously. Oh, and by the way, Mr. Justice, wasn't there someone else at the scene of the crime when my client discovered the body? Oh, you mean our Mr. Rebel? He would have been leaving the doctor's house right around then. Wait, that means... Yes, it does. In short, what my client witnessed was Mr. Rebel fleeing the scene of a heinous murder. Ah! And that's not all, based on what we've heard so far. Mr. Rebel looked exceedingly suspicious. Have you met the guy? Of course you have. You first met him before me. Well, technically not, actually, in lore, but still. And that's putting it mildly. We already know that Defiant Dragons have threatened the Doctor with bodily harm. And now that they've killed him, the so-called orb transfer agreement is null and void. Ah! Apollo, if we don't come with some sort of counter-argument, we're fucked. And what sort of evidence do you have? Can you actually prove that it was Mr. Rebel who killed the doctor? The move had desperate written all over it. It's all I've got, so I'm going with it. Evidence? I suppose it's true that I don't have any. I knew it. But I do have another witness. You do? You should know already, I always come fully prepared. That's not true. That is actually the opposite of true. We have how many games now, Phoenix, to prove that is not true? And my new client will provide testimony proving Mr. Rebel's guilt. New witness? I wonder who it could be. The only other person would probably be the son, right? Very well. Bailiff, please summon our new witness. In the meantime, the court will take a brief. Take a brief recess. I would like both sides to use this time to prepare properly. Understood? Can someone get me Rebel? That's a Rebel here. I like to torture him for information. What is... Oh, Jesus Christ. I thought that was a portrait of, like, graveyard, like, headstones. It's actually chairs. Oh, wow, I knew Mr. Wright would put up a tough fight, but... Yeah, just when I thought we had him, he turned the tables on us. He really is the turnabout terror. Can't let him blindside us again. Oh, looks like they got me again. 3 times in 1 year. That's a new record. Datz, please, no more new records or bad puns while you're at it. It's hard enough trying to help you as it is. Roger that. I'll be careful next time. Datz, is what Mr. Wright said true? Did you really pay a visit to Dr. Buff that night? Sure did. Can't remember the exact time though. All I know is he wouldn't hand over the orb. Someone put it in his head that we rebels were dangerous. That's when he threw me out. So the doctor was still alive when Datz saw him. We still have to prove it, though. You better brace yourself, son. The next witness testimony could make or break this case. Yeah, I know. Hey, where's Trucy? She went to go see her dad. Huh. Maybe she's still mad. More like worried. Worried that this trial will create a rift between you two. And that you might then leave the agency. She has an active imagination. We're leaving. If he wins, we're leaving. Chronos. No! If he wins, we're fucking leaving. And then I'm gonna burn down the village. Excuse me, the village, Chronos? Yeah, I meant to say office, but we'll start with Korean village. Excuse me, the trial will resume shortly. Well, let's go see what new testimony awaits us. Chronos, you remember what happened last time you threatened to burn something down? Yes, the kid said his mother died in a fire. And what did we learn? Nothing. Alright, court is back in session. Mr. Wright, you said you had a witness. Yes, Your Honor. I would like to call the lone survivor of the doctor's murderer to the stand. Wait, he can't mean that Sarge is here. You mean Dr. Buff's reclusive son? How did you get him to cooperate? Nothing a little persuasion couldn't handle. Oh, is he here in person? I don't believe that. The poor child only agreed to help if it meant catching the killer. Getting a kid like that to overcome his fear. Now that's impressive. Unlikely. Must be really important testimony for the kid to come out in public. That is not going to be the kid. It's going to be the drone. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please call your witness to the stand. Remember the time we had cross-examination for a walkie-talkie thing? And then a wheel. Oh my! Sergeant Bob at your service, sir! He's here as the drone, really. Mr. Wright, what the fuck? Past trauma has rendered it impossible for the witness to venture into public. Leaving home was hard enough, but it seems leaving the witness lobby was just too much. But I would like to- oh, so he's actually in the witness lobby, okay. But I would like to- still like to continue with testimony delivered via this drone. I understand it must be terrible to lose one's father like that. A testimony via remote control toy? This is only, what, the second time? Well, let's take things for a spin and see how it goes. Just who's piloting this trial anyways? Jet sure warms up the idea fast. Yeah, if it's fucking submitted from the other side. I think the phrase you're looking for is gave up. Your disappointment, Corporal Justice, think I'd once called you a comrade. Ah! Defending the man who killed Papa? That's full-on treason, soldier! I hereby demote you back to private! Corporal? Private? What the fuck are you talking about? It's a long story. Now then, are you ready to testify, youngster? Locked and loaded, sir! Ready to rain lead down upon the perpetrator. Honestly, not the weirdest witness we've had. What happened to that evening? Papa met with someone the night he died. I didn't have eyes on the ground as I had already mounted my siege defense. But I did hear him argue with someone in my study, or his study. From my window, I saw the one designated Datz getting ejected from the premises. After that, a man lingered around the perimeter for some time. He must have regrouped and killed my papa in that study later. I didn't know it. So he was thrown out, but later returned and committed the murder, you say? Yes, Your Honor. So the man my client saw really must have been the fleeing Mr. Rebel. Objection. Hey, everyone! Objection! Right, you backstabbing motherfucker! I didn't kill no one! It's the enemy! Radio missiles and fire! Whoa, whoa, whoa! How many times is this cork gonna be blown up? Capitalist pig! I'll turn you into pork stroganoff! And that's the taste of my open anti-spawn weapon! Whoa. It fires missiles too? Neat. Yes, well, the witness is all yours, Mr. Justice. Is he alive?
Hold it!
Your father met with someone. Could you be more specific? No! I was in the midst of a crucial defense of a siege operation. Right. You're referring to how you don't leave your room, correct? You never know when the enemy might be lurking outside the siege perimeter. What about you, school? Oh, I don't go to boot camp. I'm a soldier. A sergeant doesn't associate with rookies still too green to fight. With a kid like this, I bet Dr. Buff won't be getting any rest in the afterlife either. It's very brave of you to come to the courthouse today. But what was that you said about the siege defense? Oh, that, well... How is your air vent thing pulsating like that when you talk? It's a speaker, Chronos. Yeah, I guess that's true. Sarge, I've always wondered, who or what are you battling? That's classified. Even so, it may be relevant to this case.
Objection!
Is it girls? I don't know if you're the right person to be asking about that, things like that. That's right. Such matters need to be handled with certain delicacy. Oh, Yes, curiosity get the better of me. You're all talking, no action, soldier. Out on the battlefield, it ain't the number of pretty words in your repertoire, but the number of bullets in your gun belt that counts. Easy for you to say. You don't even have a gun belt. You're the one with all of them. Will the witness please tell this court what he saw and heard that night?
Hold it!
What was the argument about? I heard things like, where's the orb? And are you defying dragons really criminals? Sound like really volatile. With like a war might break out at any second. So the two of them had an argument when Datz came to get the orb. Did you see or hear anything else? Yeah, I heard them arguing and then silence. And then noises like they were kissing. It was real weird. I gotta up my defense. How was Mr. Rebel acting? Like a conquered trooper retreating from with his tail between his legs. A trooper? Well, I guess he does dress like he's in the military. I bet those two would have really hit it off had they met under different circumstances. Yeah, I can see that. And so the defeated soldier was expelled, but that wasn't the end. 2 more. Nothing is standing out as wrong to me, which is worrying me. That does seem suspicious, because I know I'm probably gonna have to present something. You keep hiding behind trees and telephone poles and stealing glasses out of house? Well, you couldn't exactly leave without the orb. I bet he was angry that he'd been kicked out. Yeah, probably. Well, maybe I don't. Maybe I just have to press him on everything.
Hold it!
Kill them later. But don't you keep your front door locked? If so, then anyone could, unlocked. Yeah, that's way different. Why would you keep your front door fucking unlocked? I don't care where you live. Like, good God. If so, anyone could have got it in. Yeah, I know. To be fair, like, breaking down the door is not as hard as it seems, or opening the lock, but still, at the same time. Jesus Christ. That's true. Papa didn't keep our house locked up. He said there was no need because there was only good people in Korean Village. That's how you get killed. And he ended up dead anyways. Isn't it ironic? It's like rain on your wedding day. Well, the Amalta could do what they did to my kind, trusted Papa. There will be no mercy. I vow swift and terrible vengeance. I'll copper bomb the killer with everything in my arsenal. Fire! I mean, I get that part. While I sympathize with you, witness, you will refrain from firing Gatling guns at the court. So Sarge started Datz too, and just when I thought things couldn't get any worse. I wonder why he hung around after being thrown out. Hey, say, but if Datz is proven to be the killer, we'll lose the orb to the plaintiff and Datz will lose his freedom. The only option is to prove the Defiant Dragons have nothing to do with it. Okay, so we do have to present something. Fuck. Let's look at the evidence real fast. When did he go to the cave? Cerebral hemorrhaging after being struck in the back of the head with the corner of an unidentified object. The storehouse lock had been picked. That is for, never mind, that's the robber report. Okay, so met with someone, eyes on the ground. No, I couldn't hear him arguing with someone in the study. From window, I saw one designated Datz. That he lingered. Tell my Papa later. Yeah. Would the time when you said came back later? Okay, let's save and try presenting this.
Objection!
No. There's something off about that statement. It seems perfectly reasonable to me. I know, that's what's off. No, there's something definitely not right if you actually listen. A gambler once saying, you got to know when to fold them. Know when to hold them and know when to fold them. Oh, I love that one. Now when to walk away, now know when to run. I don't know which penalty hurts more, the judge or the singing. Okay, so not that. If I go through again, like if we do this, are you gonna give me a hint? Like if I do this again, will there be like a suggestion? Or if I just press Y? No, I gotta keep getting them wrong. One more time for gusto. Ah, fuck. I pressed everything. How'd you know it was him? He was already, well, you saw him. From your window. Just not on the map, but I don't think that would matter. I do not know.
Hold it!
Okay. Well, shish kebabs. Yeah, I do not know. But I guess I'll get stuck on this even more next time. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all then. Have a great day. Bye.